Well, guys, please have a look at this slide. You see people, but these are important people, you will agree, right? So tell me, these are different people of different nationalities, different religions, different family backgrounds. Tell me what might have they in common? Mia?
They are all rulers.
They are all rulers, yes?
They are all leaders.
They are all leaders, yeah, leaders
Of
of the
different
country.
countries.
Of different rulers and leaders, yeah? Okay, as we have mentioned, they have different nationalities. Yes, some are alive, some passed away long ago, yeah. They have different religious backgrounds, right? And even different race. But all the rulers might have some universal qualities, some universal characteristics in order to be able to rule the country. Don't you think so?
Yes.
Please, let's help me here and let's list down some universal qualities and characteristics they might have. Anna?
Rulers of the world should be confident and responsible enough to take care of people. And they should be reliable so people can rely on them to rule their country.
Absolutely, responsibility and reliable, they should be reliable. Absolutely, I agree with you.
They should also be exemplary for others to help them be more successful.
Absolutely, absolutely, they should give example. Mariko?
They should also be organized and competent because their decisions are affecting on the country and on the people.
Absolutely, they should be responsible for the consequences. Yeah, Nino?
And in my opinion, rulers must respect to our opinion.
Absolutely, your point is that rulers should take into consideration the opinion of the population so that they make population involved in decision making. Yes? Okay, anything else to it, guys? Nikki?
I think rulers should have must have faith in they have faith
in themselves, you mean? Yes, they should
whenever
be,
they make decisions.
Yes, whenever they should believe in what they are doing. Yeah, and your point maybe is that they should be really confident to sound believable for the rest of the people, for their people.
They must make others, like the society, to believe that their actions are right, that what the leader is doing is the best that they could ever do.
Yes, Raul, anything to add?
They should take the responsibility that people gave them, rulers, to rule the country. And they should be responsible for the country and for the people.
Okay, so let's summarize. Universal quality, we have all agreed, are responsibility, so they should be reliable, they confident, we have mentioned communication skills, organization skills, absolutely. Natalie, let's give status, title to these people now, so we can name them in a different way. I'm not asking you about proper name. Tell me the status.
The first one is a king.
King, absolutely.
The second one is a sultan.
Sultan.
Next one is a pharaoh.
Pharaoh.
Next one is an emperor.
Yes.
And the last one is a president.
Last one is the president. I bet these faces seem familiar to you.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, let's not name them because we're going to talk about another ruler, which was topic of our home task. At the previous lesson, we got acquainted with the text about very famous ruler of the world once, really long ago. And who remembers the name of the person? Hatshepsut, absolutely. Yes, guys, Hatshepsut. Let's focus on the title of the text, guys. Well, do you find anything controversial about the title?
Yes.
Mahmoud?
The king is considered to be a man, but this story is about a woman who was so powerful that she was
named the king.
Yes, Hatshepsut was a woman, but she was referred as to a king. Yeah, and can you elaborate the idea of king herself, Mariko? Anything to add?
I don't really have anything to add, but Hatshepsut was very powerful. She started off as being a not so important person in the Egypt, but then we don't know why she wanted to be so powerful. Maybe she just went to rule over the Egypt, but she decided to be the ruler and the pharaoh.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Yes, she was a pharaoh, she was a ruler. And so let's move on. Her family background. Who can tell me? Who knows? Can you tell me what you know about her family background?
Hatshepsut, as I know, was Thutmose I's son. No, daughter. I mean, and when Thutmose I died, as was the tradition in Egypt, she married his own brother, Thutmose II. Also, Thutmose II had a son with another of his wives, Thutmose III. And when Thutmose II died, Thutmose III became the ruler of the pharaoh, but he was not eligible at the time to rule this big empire. So Hatshepsut came into rescue and became his regent.
Okay, thank you. Hatshepsut. Well, guys, we have talked about the controversy of the name. The fact is that it's a she, but she was referred as king. Why is that? Why is that? What is the reason that women throughout the history, some women rulers, were referred as to kings instead of queens? Nyako?
Well, when you first hear the title king, you associate it with a man, but Hatshepsut herself, she started as a queen regent, and she only handled political affairs. But as time went by, she started doing more kingly duties, and she forgot that Thutmose III was supposed to be a pharaoh, and she became a pharaoh and was called the king.
Okay, thank you. Let me have a say in this matter now. Don't you find it a little bit discrimination against gender here? Women rulers put emphasis on their power by calling themselves a king instead of queen. Do you find it is a little bit discrimination against gender?
Maybe yes. She wanted to gender equality because women were treated like a king was treated by less respect than the king, and king had more duties and more responsibility.
And more power, maybe?
Yeah, more power.
And status?
Yes, and she was hungry for power, maybe, or wanted more power, yeah.
And that's why she called herself a king, yeah? Does it remind you anything from Georgian history?
Yes.
Anna?
She reminds me of King Tamar. Well, as we know, kings are supposed to be more powerful than queens, and as the king herself, the Hatshepsut, was so powerful that she was considered the king. And if we talk about King Tamar, she didn't have a husband or someone to rule, and she was also so powerful that she had to be named the king.
Okay, yes, thank you. So we have mentioned that Hatshepsut used to be a regent. Lisa, you tell me what are the functions of regent, and how did she rule? How did she become a regent? Then how did she change her style of ruling?
So regent is supposed to help a pharaoh with these political duties, but when Hatshepsut decided to become a king, she decided to take over the Egypt and decided to name herself as a king. She also ruled Egypt, and her responsibilities have changed to the more serious kind of things, which includes taking care of all political things and also taking care of people and their problems.
Thank you. So your point is that Regent was supposed to be the second most important person in the country, yeah? Okay, so tell me, Marisha, tell me what happened after Thutmose II died, who became the king, and how Hatshepsut took over.
So after Thutmose II died, his son was still young, so he didn't take over the throne. And Hatshepsut handled with political affairs, and she respected convention. But after she saw how much she could do and how much power she could get, she became power hungry and took over throne, and she regulated Thutmose III.
Absolutely, thank you. Well, guys, so we have strongly put emphasis how powerful she was and how hungry she was for power. Yeah, tell me what might be the reasons she took over. She neglected her stepson. What might be the reasons? Let us list down the reasons. Yeah,
Tasted power that she had at the time. She wanted more power than before. So she decided to be more important.
Absolutely, thank you. Nina, what to add?
I think she thought that it was unfair that men always ruled everything. So she thought that it would be better for women to rule.
Thank you. Next,
she felt that she had a right to control everything and rule as a man.
Marisha, thank you.
I think as a woman and queen, she never really had so much power, and once she saw how much she could do, she became power hungry, and that's why she took over the.
Thank you. Anna?
I think she thought that she had some rights since she was the descendant of the throne to rule Egypt.
Okay, and Nikki, anything to add?
In my opinion, Hatshepsut took advantage of Thutmose III's age because he was very young, and because of that, he thought he might have become the king of Egypt.
Very good point. Thank you. So let's summarize that there are different reasons why she wanted to rule the country and to be factual leader of the country, yeah? And what do we know about her image? Natalie, can you tell me how she is depicted in different pictures?
Yes, at first when she started ruling, she was obviously a woman and she didn't try to hide her gender. But as the time passed by, she started acting more manly. And in the pictures, she was standing with her legs apart, and she also changed her attitude. Yes. And she wore birds as well. And headdress.
Oh, beard. She used to wear beard and some headgear, special headgear for man mourners. Yeah.
And she also used to stand with her feet apart to seem more confident, like a man.
Yes, it was a kind of manly manner to stand, yeah? Okay, guys. Now, Raul, tell me, how did her stepson, Thutmose III, feel about her? How did he grow up?
Thutmose III grew up as a desperate ruler. He didn't have any rights to rule the country, and her stepmom took all of the rights from him of ruling the country. And after her death, after Hatshepsut's death, he made everything for the people to forget her.
Absolutely. What exactly, Sally? What did he do?
His son did everything to destroy Hatshepsut's name, he was destroying all the monuments and everything that was in touch with her.
Yes, everything connected to her, everything she had built before, yeah. But somehow, Nia,
She achieved greater fame.
anyway, she achieved greater fame, and Hatshepsut's behavior didn't anyhow harm her name, and she was really memorable ruler of the Egypt. But I need to talk about a little bit about her characteristic personality. Mariko, we have mentioned that she was really powerful and hungry for power. What else? What else can you add?
We didn't really know her personality, but we knew that she was really powerful and she was really strong by the fact that she named herself a king. And she was really ambitious and responsible for all the country.
Thank you. Anna, how do we know that she was ambitious?
She was so ambitious that on her tomb, when they found the tomb, there was something written on it. May I read it from the book?
Yes, of course.
She wrote, "Now my heart turns this way and that, as I think that people will say, those who see my monuments in years to come, and who shall speak of what I have done."
Thank you. So, what were her really, really important concerns about her people? Who can tell me? What was she worried about?
She was worried that people wouldn't remember her name and all the things she's done for the Egypt.
Yes.
Because we know she was.
That's how ambitious
Yes.
she was. She wanted to be remembered forever. And yes, that's why she did everything. And these inscriptions on the walls of different temples.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, now, so you know some really significant biography details about her. So for some strange reasons, her mommy wasn't identified. Yeah? What was the reason it wasn't identified initially? Only after some time they found her mommy and it was finally identified. What was the reason? Who can tell me? Nia?
Because when they went to the King's Valley to search for her, Hatshepsut's coffin was empty. And after a century, they actually found the mummy, but it wasn't even in the coffin, and it was in a very... the place where they found it was filled with not very known people.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now guys, to summarize our text, the main message we want to get across here is that women are not worse, maybe even not better rulers of the country, and women can be as powerful, as talented, as determined, devoted, and determined and ambitious as men are. Okay, and it is of course discrimination against gender when they were called kings. There's a theory that it is discrimination against gender when they were called kings, referred as to kings, if they wanted to put an emphasis on their power, right? So.